What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, it's your pal, Mr. Nice Guy, coming with you with the very first episode of our Madden NFL franchise. Now, if you've been following us on our superstar journey with Braxton Jackson, the first round pick and star rookie running back for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you'll know that in our last game that we played in week 4 of the NFL, we were playing the New Orleans Saints. Upon playing that team and talking it through during the game, we decided we're going to start a brand new franchise mode with the New Orleans Saints. Now, we're starting with real life NFL rosters. That starts you with real life NFL stats, rosters, and more. With that choice, we're going to be online here. We also get to pick where we start in the season. Now, after much thought, we're going to be starting after the Super Bowl. What that will do is it's going to start us as we're going into this new season, the 2024 season. We're going to start right here at the Super Bowl. We're not going to be playing. I'm not going to make signings. I'm not going to make free franchise signing or free agent signings and things like that in real life from this point on. What I will do is import the 2024 NFL draft class. So we will have the young players that are coming out of college this year that will be in the 2024 draft that is coming up very soon here. We're at the middle of April. The draft is coming up soon. So we're going to start with that draft class. But everything beyond this point, you're going to have the real life roster, the real life stats from 2023. And beyond that, it's all up to us. It's all up to us for that decision making. Now, we're going to go in as a coach. You can't go in owner mode here in the NFL. However, I don't like it. It'd have to deal with ticket pricing and this, that, and this money and that money. And who cares? We're going in as a coach. So let's get our journey started. We're going to start at the Super Bowl. Got to pick our team. Now, a lot of times I play with the Houston Texans because I live here in Houston. That's my team right there. And boy, howdy, what a season we had in 2023. But we've got our franchise quarterback. We've got some really great weapons on offense. We've got some really great weapons on defense. So what is there to build? Not a whole lot. That's okay. That's okay because we're going a little to the east, to the New Orleans Saints. Now, once we dive into this, we'll take a look at the offense. I can already see one of my guys that I really like there, Tyrann Mathieu at free safety, the Honey Badger. Got to love that Honey Badger. Demario Davis there at middle linebacker, and Paulson Adebo. Attaboy. All right. So we're going to start with the New Orleans Saints. Now we have Dennis Allen there as the head coach. Now we could certainly start with that. Do we want to use a custom coach? I don't think so. Change role. Nah, we're not going to be an owner. We're not going to be a player. Let's look at our league settings. So private or public, we stick with private. Maybe in the future, you may see me get into a public franchise where we play with a few folks that I know. But until then, we're going to stick with the private. Skill level, I always play on all pro. Game style simulation, as authentic as possible. Quarter length, 6 minutes. That's about all I want to do. We'll stick with the accelerated clock. All these right here have to deal with if you're playing other people. You have cooldown limits. I'm not really worried about that. We definitely want to do full control, everything on manual. Auto progress players off. Auto progress talents off. Tutorial pop-ups, let's turn that off. I'm a long-time Madden player. I don't need tutorials. Ball hawk, heat seeker, switch assist. Who cares? Trade deadline on. Definitely want that on. Trade type, enable all. Trade difficulty, normal. Salary cap, we'll keep the salary cap on for realism. Free agency, motivation pack, impact, normal. Practice squad stealing. I generally like to turn it off on some of my offline franchises, but we'll keep it on just for a little realism. Relocation settings, users only. I don't want to see a bunch of teams moving around. Injury, practice injury, pre-existing. We'll leave all of this on. Draft timers on. Prospect storylines, progressive fatigue. It's all staying on. Fantasy draft order. We're not doing a fantasy draft, so that doesn't matter to us. Coach firing, CPU only. Thank you very much. Full on-field control, instant starter, career clock. Those things that you see there really have a lot to do with your other franchise modes playing as players. Full on-field control as a player. If you leave that on, doesn't matter what position you're playing, you have full control on the field. Instant starter, doesn't matter how shitty your overall is, you'll be the starter for your team. Breakout scenarios, we'll leave it on. Developmental trait regression, we'll leave that on. Superstar abilities on. Minimum roster size, everything else. One thing we are going to do is fill rosters, turn that off. If you leave that on, the CPU will automatically sign free agents to positions that need rosters. Now, usually I don't run up on that, but sometimes guys get hurt and the CPU will automatically sign someone I don't want. We're not doing that. We'll stick with Dennis Allen. Once we get into the game, we'll take a look at Coach Allen's offensive tendencies, defensive tendencies, and look and see where we need to draft. Till then, let's get this started. We're starting our league. Here we are, Super Bowl 58. It was the Kansas City Chiefs. It was the San Francisco 49ers. And we all know who won. Let's take a look at our team that we're inheriting here. We'll just go straight to NFL rosters, and let's see what we've got here. Starting at quarterback, we do have Derek Carr, the 32-year-old veteran that the Saints acquired from Las Vegas. There's Jameis Winston, 29-year-old young man from Florida State. Started at Tampa Bay, bounced around, and has made himself here to New Orleans. And then Jake Hayner, who no one knows. It's a rookie. He's from Fresno State. He's not going to be our future starter. Jameis Winston is interesting. 78 speed. He's got good size, 6'4", 231, 90 throw power, some decent throw accuracies. Probably not our guy of the future at 29 years of age. He is costing us some money there. But this is going to be our guy going forward for the time being. It's going to be Derek Carr. He's got the label of a bridge quarterback. He's there to fill in the gaps, to fill in the role until we can find a long-term solution. I don't believe we're going to go after that long-term solution with this draft class, but maybe in a future draft class. Running back, we've got Alvin Kamara. He's 28 years old. Really great swinging out of the backfield, getting open, helping us in the receiving game. Jamal Williams, his backup, pretty decent as well, too. A little stronger, a little smaller, much more of a power back coming out of BYU. We have Kendre Miller, a rookie out of TCU. Future starter, 6'2", 220. Excellent speed, excellent acceleration. The agility is really not there, but he's got the strength at 75. And then bringing up the end, Eno Benjamin from Arizona State. Fullback, Adam Prentice. There you go. Wide receiver, as I said earlier in some of our Superstar videos, you got Chris Olave there, the young talent out of Ohio State, whom the Saints took in this last draft. You also have Michael Thomas, the veteran at 30 years of age, filling in a role there. Doesn't have any tags, which is a little bit disappointing. I really would have liked to see him with the mentor tag to help Chris Olave grow. We have Rashid Shaheed out of Weber State, day one starter, 6', 180, but that 95 speed makes him dangerous. And look at that acceleration, 95, right up there with Chris Olave. If anything, I would really love to see us go to a zone run, power run, whatever kind of run you want, but with a vertical offense with these two young guys, both 6 foot tall. Would really great to see them busting down the field and blowing the tops off of defenses. A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest, another rookie, 6'5", 205. Nice and big. Really got the strength there at 68. He's going to be a replacement for Michael Thomas in the red zone. You've got Lynn Bowden Jr. out of Kentucky. And then Keith Kirkwood, another player out of Temple. At tight end, Taysom Hill, 6'2", 221. Way too much money to be paying for a 33-year-old tight end who kind of plays running back, who kind of plays wide receiver, who kind of plays quarterback. A Swiss Army knife. That's an experiment. We're going to do our best to get rid of him as soon as possible. That 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 90 agility, I like all of that. 90 acceleration, 84 agility, pardon me. I like all that. The 82 strength, that's really cool. But I'm just not feeling it, guys. His short route running's terrible. He's not a tight end at 6'2", 221. Maybe we try to find a place on the offense for him until we can get. I mean, let's take a look at this contract. This contract. Backed out. This contract for Taysom Hill, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Come over here. Let's take a look at it. Stats and contracts. Oh, it makes my stomach hurt. So we're on the hook with Taysom Hill until 2026. Oh, that's really going to hinder our cap. We're going to have to find something for Taysom Hill to do. I really, really don't think tight end is the position for him. The short route running is horrendous. It's not really a wide receiver either, and we have some really good running backs. I don't know what we'd do with this guy, but we're going to have to find something for him to play. It's definitely not quarterback, but who knows? We'll see what we can do. Outside of Taysom Hill, we have Jawan Johnson. Looks like your prototypical tight end. Much more of a vertical threat tight end, 6'4", 231. We have Foster Moreau from LSU. Louisiana boy playing on a Louisiana professional team. Oh, we owe him a lot of money too. He's got the strength, he's got the speed, he's got the size to play tight end, and he's got the short route runnings right there with Taysom Hill. So what you gonna do? Jimmy Graham after that, 6'7", 260, 36 years of age. He does have the mentor tag, so he will help some of our younger, in quotes, younger tight ends here grow, and then Zach Wood after that. Left tackle, Aldris Pete. And this is what I talked about in the other video. I didn't know where the Saints' strengths and weaknesses were. Left tackle certainly seems like a weakness. Do have Trevor Penning, one experience, a young man, future starter coming up there. He's got the strength. He's got the speed and the agility to really play well as a left tackle. We may end up moving Aldris Pete over to right tackle for the remainder of his career with the Saints. Left guard, James Hurst. We got two guards here, both 31 years of age. James Hurst at a 75, that's not terrible. Center, Eric McCoy. Definitely looks really good. 6'4", 303. No backup to be seen at this time. Right guard, you have, I believe that's pronounced Tri Turner. 30 years of age. He's up there in age, but we do have Cesar Ruiz right here behind him, a 24-year-old capable backup who definitely looks to be a future starter down the road. Both are nice in strength. And at right tackle, Ryan Resmick, or Ramzik? Ryan. We have Ryan. Ryan looks pretty good at a right tackle. He doesn't have the speed, the agility, or the acceleration, but he's got the strength. 31-year-old Cameron Irving right behind him, who's a bridge player, and he's a good backup. And then we have Landon Young out of Kentucky. 2-year starter, or 2-year backup. It's kind of filling a void there. What we may do, and this is what I'm looking at right here, what we may do, we may take this right guard here, 6'6" and 316. Oh, I like the size. 6'4" and 316, but Ruiz really needs to be our go-to guy here. We've got a solid center. Let's look at the strength here. 87, 88, pretty much the same. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take old Nick here. We're going to move him into center. He's going to play as our backup center. I mean, he's a third string right guard at the moment. So, hey, you know what, man? You get to move center. You get to move up the depth chart. Now you're a backup. Enjoy it. Say thank you. And at right tackle, we've got some boys there. All right, so we get on the defensive side. We have Cameron Jordan, left end, 6'4", 287. Still an 87 overall, but at 34 years of age, not getting any younger. He's not going to be our starter for long, maybe one more season. Got a young man here, Ala Villanova, 6'7", 289. Got that 80 speed, though. Good speeds. Awareness is so-so. Strength is okay. Got a young man here out of Tennessee, 6'4", 277. Jump over to the right side of the defensive line. Carl Ganderson there at 26 years of age. Got a really big contract for someone who's a 79 overall. Peyton Turner, 6'6", 270 out of Houston. Looks pretty good. Good strength. So-so on the speed, acceleration, and agility. But this young man right here, Isaiah Foskey, out of Notre Dame. Rookie, 71 overall, but look at the speed. 86, 90 acceleration, 74 agility, 76 strength. Looks really good. Really big on the power moves, which is really strange with the low strength like that. I expect more finesse moves. Block shed is okay, but that speed acceleration combination could make him dangerous down the road. Now, your left ends, they go up against your right tackles. Your right ends go up against your left tackles. So I like Isaiah Foskey in that position with the speed and acceleration, the change of direction that he has. Defensive tackle, Ryan Rasee out of Clemson, 6'5", 305. The rookie is our starter there. Here you go. Here's where our weakness for the Saints is. We've got a 29-year-old, 72 overall, Nathan Shepard out of Fort Hays State as the backup there. And then Malcolm Roach, future starter, trade target young. As you can see, we're not very deep at D tackle outside of our star rookie here. Left outside linebacker, Zach Bond. Definitely, we're short on linebacker as well. Middle linebacker, we've got Demario Davis, the superstar, but he's 34. We're getting up there in age. Right outside linebacker, Pete Werner. As I suspected, the defense is, well, I say as I suspected. I thought in the other videos that we did that the defense was pretty good with the Saints. It turns out really not all that great. So that makes you question how good is our Tampa Bay offense in our superstar videos. Probably not great. We do have a lot of speed here on the outside linebackers. A lot of good guys here. Monty Rice, Nafisa Andrew Dowell. Let's take Monty Rice here. We're going to edit him, move him to middle linebacker because we really don't have a good solid young middle linebacker there. We've only got 2. By the way, the build of this roster, we're most likely running a 4-3 offense. So it's really going to put the emphasis on having good defensive tackles, some good defensive ends, and then we need to make sure we've got plenty of backups on the linebacker core. All right, Marshawn Lattimore, our star shutdown corner, 27 years of age. Attaboy, Paulson, right there, another great young corner, and then we've got Isaac Yadam. That's the way I can pronounce that, and Alontae Taylor out of Tennessee. So we've got plenty of youth here and plenty of talent here in the corners. Jump to free safety. There's our man. There's our boy, Tyrann Mathieu out of LSU. The Honey Badger, who was here in Houston for a year, did some awesome things and then moved on. I like having him at free safety. I mean, he's just a beast of a player. When we get over to strong safety, we've got Marcus May, who's up there in age, but we do have Jordan Howden, a rookie out of Minnesota, at 70 overall. Now we move on. Blake Group out of Notre Dame as our kicker, and then Lou Headley out of Miami as our punter. Let's take a look at our draft picks that we have. We do have the number 14 pick in this year's draft. Oof, boy, we are hurting for some picks. That means for pick 1 and pick 2, we are really going to have to hit on those picks. Or we could look at trading some players to try to grab some picks up the line. We'll see what we can come up with. We do have a 5th, 2 6th, and 1 7th. Boy, howdy, we've got our work cut out for us. So we jump to this here. Let's manage staff. I definitely want to take a look at the schemes of this team. Multiple power run. That's okay. And a base 4-3. Base 4-3, we are 100% fit. I'm totally fine with that, and I think that's what we're going to stick with. The base 4-3 scheme, perfectly fine. Oh, offensive playbook that is built on a multiple power run scheme. We're not sticking with a multiple power run. We're going to stick with the base 4-3. I definitely want to look at... we don't have the offensive lineman for zone. I want to look at everything vertical. We're probably going to stick with the vertical power run. We've got the strong arm quarterbacks. We've got the power backs. We've got the wide receivers. We've got the tight ends. We've got everyone to run a vertical scheme. We just need to work on our offensive linemen, which we're pretty close on that. So let's start looking at offensive playbooks. Where can we find vertical power run? That's what we're looking for. Multiple power run, no thank you. Power run West Coast, no thank you. Zone run. Power run vertical passing schemes. Buffalo definitely has a really good offensive playbook, and that's what we're going with. Like Buffalo, got Josh Allen. They had Stephon Diggs. Not anymore. Hopefully Stephon Diggs can come in and give Houston another star wide receiver. We have Nico Collins, but we'll see how the future goes. All right, so we're going to advance to the offseason. We're going to let the game decide who wins between the 49ers and the Chiefs. Who got it? Who did it? Oh, the 49ers pull it out here in the digital world. We're going to choose our draft class. We're going to import a local file. There it is right there. I've already used it. I really like it. That's what we're going to go with. And we will move forward here in just a moment. All right, apologies for that interruption, and we're back. Now we can take a look here at our draft class. I'm not really going to worry about looking at it at the moment. We've got a few other things we've got to handle. So, looking at 2023 retirements, do we have any New Orleans Saints calling it quits? Doesn't appear so. Kareem Jackson out of Houston calling it quits. John Weeks, who's their long snapper, calling it quits as well. Not really worried about it. Let's move on. Now, for this week, this is off-season staff week. We don't have any staff to resign, any staff to hire. There's no moves going on. We're going to proceed on to the next week, which is re-signing players. Now, we are put at a little bit of a disadvantage coming in at the very end of the season. We've got this 1 week, this one opportunity to seize everything you ever. I'm just kidding. We're not going with that. We've got 1 week here to try to re-sign these players. Let's see how many. We've got 24 players ready to negotiate. So let's take a look. Let's try to prioritize. Oh my God, we're 33 million under the cap. Well, we're not re-signing anyone. I'm really starting to question our choice. Ooh. Well, first and foremost, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get rid of some guys. My gosh. First thing you got to do, you look at everyone that's remaining. All these guys here who we would re-sign. Ugh. Let's look at who can give us the most savings. Tyrann Mathieu. Are we at the point where we can trade players? Nope. Folks, we really bit off a lot. We bit off a lot with this. I'll tell you who's killing us right now. I'll tell you absolutely 100% who's killing us is Tyrann Mathieu. Here's our halfbacks. We'll get to it, and I'm going to show you. It's going to be horrendous. What is this? 22 million. 1.21 million that we could save. That's not going to help us. There he is, Taysom Hill. 15.8 million that he's costing us. Rollover from 2023, 24.8. No cap penalties. That's the worst part. At 10.6 million in rookie reserve. Just clicking through right now, looking at savings, trying to find some money. Cameron Jordan's costing us quite a bit. He could save us 5.58 million. Mario Davis. We've got a lot of veterans that we're paying a lot of money to. It's just not helping us. What we could do, and we may have to look into this, is once we may have to just move on beyond this. Boy, this has turned into a hell of a rebuild, let me tell you. Our two safeties are combined costing us $14.5 million. And Taysom Hill, of course, is costing us a lot of money. Outside of our two safeties, who could save us the most? Cameron Jordan, great. Juwan Johnson could actually save us 5.2. He's in the final year of his contract. Oh boy. $3 million for our left guard there. All right, here's what we're going to do. We are unable to re-sign any of these players right now, so we are going to simulate past this week, and it pains me. There's 24 players we're going to go past. Woo, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough, but you know what? We said we're doing the Saints, so we're going to do the Saints. All right. 51 players left on the roster. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's take a look at our let's take a look at our roster and see what we've got left to work with. Quarterbacks, that's okay. Derek Carr's still here. That's okay. Alvin Kamara is still there. We're going to cut these two young lads right here. What we may do, and this is what we may do. Oh, man, this kid's good. James Robinson. He's 26 years old, though. Let's try to find a trade for him. Let's see what kind of trade offers we can get. Not a single one. Great. All right, so we're going to hang on to him. He's a potential trade candidate. We have no fullback. Oh, wide receiver room got hit hard. We do have some very talented young rookies here. Oh my goodness. Here's the devil himself, Taysom Hill, costing us so much money. Taysom, how do you do as a wide receiver, man? All the way at the bottom. You suck. That's what it is. How do you do as a running back? Not bad. Not bad. How do you do as a quarterback, your old position? The amount of money we're paying you, that's what your contract is built for. All right, if anything, you can be an overly paid quarterback. That's fine. No, it's not fine, but it freaking sucks. All right. Tight ends. Terrible. Lost our left tackle. Trevor Penning, though, is a good young future starter there. We still got James Hurst. We still got Eric McCoy. Oh. Right guard looks terrible. Right tackle, we're still good. Cameron Jordan is still there. We'll keep him on defense. Carl Ganderson, you know what? Oh, man. Peyton Turner, let's move you over to left end where you'd be going against the right tackle. Going against the right tackle with that strength that he's got. It's 82, but it's better. And he's a scheme fit. Okay. We may potentially look at trading Cameron Jordan if we need to, but I would really like to keep him on as a mentor to train up Peyton Turner to take over his position. Carl Granderson. All right. D tackles, we're okay where we are. Left outside linebacker looks horrendous. Still have Demario Davis. Still got pretty good corners. Got our free safeties. Got our strong safeties. Kicker and punter are still here. All right, so now let's get to the drawing board. Let's see what we can do. We can't sign any free agents. So let's go to the trade center. $32.9 million in the hole. First and foremost, it pains me. It pains me to do this, but let's put Tyrann Mathieu up on the trade block. Let's see what kind of offers we get. I am not in the business of taking players. I want to see who's going to offer us the best draft picks. Some of these players look absolutely phenomenal. I'd really love it. This right here with Houston looks great. A 2025 second, fourth, and seventh rounder. Here's some really good picks from Minnesota. Chicago is willing to offer us the most with a third round pick for this year. I don't think I can take any of these because I would be over the salary cap. I like the idea of having Nico Collins. He's a really good wide receiver. And having the second, fourth, and seventh for next year, that would be great. That would really help us in future building. We don't need a good corner. Due to salary cap restrictions, the offer cannot be accepted. Please try another. All right, so let's work with Chicago. We can't take a player from you. I would love to try to take, and you can't take him from us. So you know what? Never mind. We can't make a deal. There's the Bengals. anyone have a green or yellow offer? If you look at the top left corner of Tyrann Mathieu, yeah, no. Let's see about the Texans. They can take you. Would the Texans give us a second rounder and a third rounder? That's a lot to ask, but the best thing you can do in these trade situations is to start with, you know what? Let's throw second, third, and fourth. Start with asking for a lot and see what happens. This is terrible. I can't even make trade offers because I'm over the salary cap. This is painful to say, but the only way that I can really make any of this happen is to try to offer up players to get us out of this salary cap nightmare. And we're still 10 million over. This is impossible. We may have to proceed forward. I know in games in the past, if you proceeded forward with what you had, you would get a warning that if you didn't clear up your salary cap issues by the end of the season, that you would be stopped. The game would end, basically. So that may be what we have to do. I really don't want to carry this much dead money. Why can't I trade Marcus? Oh, because he's out for 1 week with a torn labrum. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to proceed on. The only thing that we can do is draft players. So we're going to have to look at what we can do with our first and second round picks and then try to make the most of them. We're going to look for jewels in the bottom of, once we get in the fifth and sixth rounds and see what we can find. And just go from there. We can't sign any free agents. This is going to be definitely a very, very tough rebuild. So let's do that. We're just going to advance. Don't know what we do from here, folks. College Pro Days, we're going to advance. Let's get to the next week, and then we'll start looking at some players. So we are picking 14th in this year's draft. So let's look at college players. Let's look at some mock drafts as well. We should be at mock draft 4 by this point. Oh, we're not. Maybe we are. Maybe it's just a loading issue. I don't know. That's weird. We're at the point of private workouts, so let's look at our prospects. We're not going to go quarterback in this year's draft. Definitely, we need offensive line. What we may do is trade down, although there are some good guys here. Ooh. We got the quarterbacks, we got the halfbacks, wide receivers, Left tackle, we do need a backup. Right guard is really where we need a lot of help. Man, I'm still sitting here struggling with the idea that we've got, we really don't have anything to work with. All right, first and foremost, let's go back. Let's go to what I always do whenever I'm playing franchise mode. We need to look at our roster. And we're going to sit here, we're going to jot down our most glaring needs. Now, obviously, our most glaring need is cap. Caps are a huge, huge glaring need. We can't fix that at this point in time. Maybe at the end of next season, we get rid of Taysom Hill. Absolute drain on our financials. But at this point, we need to see what we need. Now, I know at quarterback, we're not doing anything in this draft. Derek Carr is going to be our starter for the season. That's what we're going to do. Taysom Hill, will let him be the backup because we're paying him shit tons of money. Running back, we're good with Alvin Kamara. Fullback, we can find somebody. Wide receiver, we definitely could use a wide receiver. It seems the one guy that I was really excited about in having this vertical offense is gone. So let's put wide receiver on there. We want to find somebody late and fast. So we'll try to look at the later rounds for a quick wide receiver. Tight end, we'll stick with what we've got. Left tackle, we do need a backup. Left guard, we're okay. Center, we're okay. And I just use the term okay very loosely. Right guard is where we have some big issues. Right guard, we need a starter. However, I'm not really losing my mind about it. Right tackle, we're okay. Left end, we're good. We're going to stick with what we've got. Right end, we're okay. Defensive tackle, not the best, but we'll roll with what we got. Outside linebacker, and this is in a 4-3 defense. Linebacker. That's just what I'm going to call it. Linebacker. Doesn't matter if it's outside. Doesn't matter if it's middle. We just need a linebacker. So we need a starter at linebacker. Middle, we're okay. Right outside, we're okay. Corner, we need some depth. So corner, we need depth. Free safety, we've got Tyron. Strong safety, we've got Marcus. And then kicker and punter, we're okay. Okay, so we have 5 different positions to address. Left tackle is backup, so that can be a later round pick. Wide receiver, we need speed. That can be a later round pick. Cornerback, we need depth. That can be a later round pick. Guard and linebacker, we need a starter. Now, you can't see what I'm doing here, but what I do anytime I'm moving into a draft situation like this, I go through the roster, I look at what we've got, what we need, and I list the positions, and I'll give a key name to it. So guard, next to guard, I have starter. Next to linebacker, I have starter. Cornerback, I have depth / late. Left tackle, I have BU or backup / late. Wide receiver, I have late / fast. That kind of gives me some key notes as to what we need. So this is completely different because I'm used to having a lot of cap space to work with, especially when I'm playing with the Texans because they've drafted so well and they've been really smart with their money, unlike the frickin' Saints. So this is a new territory for me. So let's go to prospects. So we're going to look at guards and linebackers. That's what we're going to look at. So let's go look at left guards. Do have the young man from Washington here. Looks pretty good. We got a pretty good kid right here out of Kansas State. Agile. Really good ratings. Let's take a look at him. I know it doesn't fit our power run scheme. However, 27 reps. Good speed, great change of direction, good agility, good acceleration. Looks pretty good. Overall, he rates really well. The top 2 guys are both pass protectors. Usually means, this guy's got pretty good numbers. So we'll probably list that young man there. That guy drops off a little bit, but let's take a look at the guy here who does fit the scheme. He's round 3 or 4, which we don't have draft picks for, but we could trade down. Big key word right there that hits me for it. He's supposed to be a power run kind of guy, and his strength level is rated as decent. So that is a solid, profound no. Here's a guy coming out of Boston College. He's agile. He's got A, and then between an A and C and a B and D. But those 2 A's get me intrigued. Solid strength. Actually, he's the strongest left guard, 34 reps. Elite jumping, elite change of direction, good speed, and we will definitely put him on the list at round 3 or 4. So we've got some options. Now here's a power guy that rates pretty well. He's out of TCU. He has some elite qualities and good speed as well. So you know what? We're going to pop him on there too. He's a day 3 guy. That's a day 3 flyer. This guy right here, CAB and then a BD, but pass protector. That's a red flag for me. Yeah, look at that. 28 reps, 31 on his pro day. He does have some elite qualities, but not something that I would take a risk on. Let's look at the power guy here. AC, but a CF on awareness. Got some really, really, really good speed abilities there. Lots of really good shuttles and stuff. He looks more like a zone guy, not a power guy. We'll put him on there as a backup plan. So then we jump over to right guard. Well, we're starting to top guys around 2-3 guy. Here's an agile guy, AC, B, and C. Solid strength, elite change of direction, 34 reps. He's worth a look, so we'll put him on there. Good power guy, A, BD, A, BD. It's worth a look. Let's take a peek. Nothing to write home about. It's got that elite change of direction, good speed, great jumping. Once again, another guy who looks to be more of an agile guy as opposed to power. There's a guy just below him. Once again, just the decent strength. Not impressed. Another power guy here, the last of the day 3 prospects. He's horrendous. So we've got some pretty good guards. A lot of them are falling into that round 2 and below range. I don't see a real round 1 kind of guy. So let's jump over to linebackers real quick. So left outside linebacker. Dallas Turner as a speed rusher does not fit our 4-3 scheme. So we're going to pass on him. Chris Boswell, another Alabama guy. Once again, if you see a lot of these are speed rusher, speed rusher, speed rusher, they do not fit our scheme. Now, what I do know, and this is a little trick, what I do know, I say a trick, inside information. Mark him as a favorite. What I do know about Dallas Turner on this draft class is that he rates as a speed rusher. But if you look at his zone coverage, he actually has very excellent zone coverage. Top of the class, strength, everything looks really great. Let's take a look at the tackle. Man coverage is an A, tackle is an A. He is absolutely an all-around phenomenal prospect. If we have the opportunity to trade up, I don't know how we can't trade up. It's really sad to say. I'm going to mark him. We'll look at the mock drafts and see where he goes. I do believe he'll go off the board before we ever get an opportunity to draft him. If we do, that's going to be the guy we're going to go after. Chris Boswell here, another Alabama player, Braswell. Really great speed. Everything's great on him. We can take a look here. Zone coverage is an A. Catching is an A. He's an all-around great player. He may be one that we fall to. Then you start getting these guys with D rated zone coverage. That's a true speed rusher. But these two guys here at the top can absolutely play in our 4-3 scheme. Middle linebackers. Nobody here is really going to play as well as those two that we just looked at. Let's take a peek. This is not too terrible. This guy actually grades out really well. Jermaine Trotter Jr. Good zone coverage. Hit power is good. He definitely could be a pick later on. If we miss on those two guys, we could look to him to fill that spot. We do have a field general here from Texas A&M. Grades out really well athletically. Elite acceleration, elite, great. Skill set, good man coverage. He's definitely one to keep an eye on. We switch over here to the right outside linebackers. This guy really grades out well. AC. Wow. Okay. Finesse move is a bit Pursuit is an A. Play rec is C. A tackle. The outside linebackers in this class really look good. Junior Colson, they're out of Michigan. Okay. Other potentials, the backup, late and fast, depth, late. I won't spend this much time look at them. I may spend some time here. Let's look at the left tackles real quick. See what we've got. This guy here out of Oklahoma looks okay. Everything is solid. When you say solid, it's not a good thing. Foster here. Good change of direction. Everything else is. Once we get up to round 2, 3, we'll move on. Let's take a look at right tackle, see if there's any depth there. A lot of depth at right tackle. So, Glaze out of Maryland. It's okay. The strength is not the best. Wallace out of Penn State. Athletically, he's worth a look to be a backup and a late pick for left tackle. Couple more day 3 guys. This guy right here, pass protector, he would fit the scheme at left tackle. Roger, multiple stars. Definitely a good look there for left tackle. And then, round 2, 3, though. We're not going to really have a pick there. Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. We'll put him on the list. Why not? Okay, so at this point, when it comes to corner and wide receiver, I like to play it by ear. Let's jump ahead. We'll try to take a look at the final mock draft for this draft. We'll get up to free agency recap, and that'll give us the final look. And here we go. Mock draft number 3. Yeah, well, we should be a bit more than that. However, we are starting late. So we got Marvin Harrison Jr. going first with the Bears, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Dallas Turner going at 6 to the New York Giants. So we do have our outside linebacker still sitting there below Dallas Turner, Broswell. How far does he drop? He drops to 30. Now that is extremely interesting. Wow. We could make a good trade with the Baltimore Ravens, or we could look at one of these teams up here. The Houston Texans, being that far down. Anyone above 30, we may look at to see if we can trade down with and end up with some more picks. So let's go take a look at that right this minute. We need some draft capital. We need it badly. Now, I don't know if we can even trade draft picks with how our cap room is. Probably not. Let's just put the number 14 pick up there. No trades for that package. All right, well, let's go straight to the Texans. Oof, no, hold up. Just about made a boo-boo there. First, third, and fourth to move up. Hey! Let's send it to the league office. All right, we made it official. We've got ourselves a 3rd and 4th round pick. We've moved down in the 1st round, but that's okay because we should be able to get Broswell there and fill a much-needed role in our defense. And we've picked up a 3rd and 4th round pick. So let's hit these private workouts. We're going to flip right to our favorites because we've got some good guards. We've got some guys here that we could pick up, but Broswell definitely is going to be one of our private workouts. We're gonna let Mahogany be a private workout. Trotter. Well, yeah, Trotter. Trotter can be a private workout as well. No, Cooper. Trotter. Trotter will be our final private workout. We'll work these guys out, see what we can do. All right, so we moved down in the first round. That's okay. We should still be able to get Broswell, which is our secondary target after Turner. Broswell ought to be able to come in and fill in on that outside linebacker position. And here it is. We're ready to start the NFL draft. We've got our list here in front of us. We didn't take a look at the wide receivers or the corners. We looked at left tackles and guards, or tackles altogether, not even just the left, but tackles and guards. We've got a guy that we really want at linebacker. Hopefully he's still there. We have traded down in the draft to grab an additional third and fourth, which is well because we had a first and second and we didn't draft again until the fifth. So we've got some more draft capital to work with. Let's get this draft started. For the first round, we're going to go pick by pick and see who gets picked. This should be Marvin Harrison Jr., and it is. Commanders should go quarterback. Caleb Williams, there you go. Jaden Daniels? It's Jaden Daniels. Arizona, who are they going with? And they go with the left end out of Florida State. J.C. Latham going to the Chargers. There goes Dallas Turner, as expected. Brock Bowers. I'm glad the Falcons are happy of that because they've already got a tight end. They don't need Brock Bowers. They grab Murphy, the D-tackle out of Texas. Bears are back on the clock. Who do they go after? The left guard there. See, that was the left guard that we were picked to take. Now, okay, so in the mock drafts, we were supposed to take that left guard. So you already see the mock draft falling apart just a little bit. There goes Drake May. There goes the right tackle. Who do the Texans take with our pick that we traded up to them? Let's see. Okay. Odunze out of Washington. You know, I went this last weekend up to Tuscaloosa to view the A-Day game, which is Alabama's annual end of spring practice. It's the 15th and final practice where fans get into the stadium for free. We can sit anywhere we like. We can watch the final practice, which is a scrimmage. And we did have a wide receiver got moved over to us from Washington. And man, let me tell you, his first name is Jermaine, and Jermaine Bernard, I believe is his name. And boy, he lit it up on A-Day. 100+ receiving yards on 3 catches. Phenomenal day for him. So excited to watch him this coming season. All right, we're down to the Chargers. The right tackle just went off the board. There's a left tackle. We're coming up close on our pick. Tackles are flying off the board. Final pick before us. Yes! There goes Malik Neighbors. Really weird that they would pick a wide receiver. Hey, it's okay. Now, what we're going to do... There's J.J. McCarthy. We're not taking him. Terrion Arnold is still on the board. Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver. Oh, that is tempting. He would fit so well with our scheme. It's tempting. It's absolutely tempting that Xavier Worthy is still there. Chris Boswell's still on the board. Would really help our defense, but Xavier Worthy is, oh my goodness. All right, so what we may do, we may draft Xavier Worthy and then try to trade up to grab Chris Boswell. We only have 4 active wide receivers. We lost a wide receiver that we expected to help us with our deep passing game. We're doing it. We're taking Xavier Worthy. We're going rogue, people. We're going rogue. Let's do it. Oh, hidden depth. Look at that. 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 95 jumping. That's our deep threat. That's our deep threat, people. Go ahead, jump ahead with Dallas.
Next up, it's the
Jump ahead with the Packers.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock.
All right, let's see if we can trade with Tampa. It's going to be a tough trade. Buccaneers. There they are. So we're going to offer them our second and third round picks for their current first round pick. How far off are we? Pretty far off. A second, a third, and next year's second.
The current pick
We did it! That sounds really bad that we just traded away a second that was ours and a third that we acquired. But if we can grab Chris Broswell here, just looking at Brian Thomas here. Yeah, 4.3944. That doesn't matter. Got Xavier Worthy. He's going to be our deep threat. Bo Nix there. All right, we're grabbing Chris Broswell. Another hidden dev, 87 speed, 90 acceleration, 82 strength at 6'3", 251. It's going to be a starter outside linebacker. Xavier Worthy with that incredible speed is going to be a starter on the outside. We're going to put Thomas in the slot to be our go-to, and we're going to have a phenomenal offense. I'm pulling in from my Texans, man. You got to trade up in the first round. Grab the two guys that you need. We got an offensive guy. We got a defensive guy. Let's jump ahead. We're going to go right to the next user pick. Not worried about the rest of the first round. Our next user pick is going to be in the fourth round. This is where the true magic happens. We're going to have to sit here and we're going to have to look at the board, look at what's left, look at our favorites, and try to figure this out. Jermaine Burton is still there. Romeo Wilson, a lot of wide receivers still on the board. Let's take a look. A lot of day 3 guys there. Whoop, didn't mean to back out. So let's mark off wide receiver. I said late and fast, but we found a guy that fast doesn't even cover it. We got the linebacker. We're still in desperate need of an offensive lineman. If you're watching on Twitch here, I got about a minute left on this recording, so I may have to pause for a moment as I start a new one. Lots of wide receivers, and you would think, man, you should have taken one here late, but nah, man. There are some corners left on the board. Man to man here. No. So when it comes to corners, you look for speed and you look for acceleration and agility because you want to look at their abilities to. All right, here we go. You want to look at their abilities to maintain the coverage. This guy's all solid, elite acceleration. He really grades out well. He's a round 2-3 guy. His zone is a C. His man is a C. His awareness could be really bad. I got 10 seconds left. If you're on Twitch, I'm going to pause here for a moment. We're going to start the next recording.